Hey, what's up guys? So along with the Kolin reveal, Capcom has also noted in their latest blog post that they plan to improve on their communication with fans. This blog states, and I quote, "Expect to hear more from us about each of the remaining 4 characters every other month, beginning in February. That said, in months where we won't have any new character info, we will have new information and content to talk about." So there you go. So Capcom is planning on communicating at least once a month, alternating between content info and new character info. Now, this isn't the first time Capcom has claimed they will improve communication. In fact, there was a tweet posted by Capcom about 9 months ago on May 31st, 2016. It's written in ink, we don't forget. The tweet says, "Moving forward, we'll work to communicate information surrounding content releases in Street Fighter V at a much more rapid pace." Indeed. Let's also not forget my personal favorite, the classic, the screenshot. I love this one. Now, reading YouTube comments, Twitter posts, forum posts, I see a lot of people quick to blame the PRs of Capcom with pitchforks and torches. I think it's a little more complicated than that. I don't think it's the individuals themselves that is a problem, at least I hope not. We know Capcom has some communication issues in the past, especially internally among themselves, with Capcom US, Capcom UK, and Capcom Japan, where they're like throwing each other under the bus. There were some cases where there was info that was not supposed to be revealed or announced at a time. For example, we had the frame delay. We had 2 different explanations of the frame delay, whether it was intended in the game or it wasn't intended in the game. We also had information that was revealed in Japan first, and then the rest of the regions were left in the dark, and we had to like scatter on translating Japanese blogs just so we can know what was going on. So it definitely is a cluster for sure. It's also worth noting that during the development of Street Fighter V, before the launch of the game, there was a ton of communication from Capcom, the most we've actually ever seen. They were completely translucent on the entire development process, if you guys remember. Including, we had the beta tests of the game, several beta tests just to test the servers. We had surveys, you guys remember the surveys? And we had many playable builds at various events around the regions. So, at one point, there was definitely a lot of communication and a lot of PR work going around for Street Fighter V. It was going to be huge. We also got to see how complex Street Fighter V was in the early alpha builds, with Ryu gaining a hit on his fireball for every V-trigger use, and Chun-Li was a lot crazier. She was canceling specials. In the specials, there was a lot of ambition at the start on the game being pretty complex compared to the previous Street Fighter 4. But the huge communication also had its downsides as well. We got to see the things that Capcom took out, such as the Armika's butt slap super, caused a lot of controversy when people saw Capcom censoring that up and censoring other things with Cammy and such before the game was launched. So maybe they gave us a little too much information. Now it seems like right now the PRs are being held back by Capcom. They're being told not to spray new information. They might be left behind in the dark just as much as we are, guys. It's definitely possible. We know Capcom is now extra paranoid of leaks. Think about all the leaks that have happened for Street Fighter V. Everything has been leaked. The entire Season 1 cast of characters was leaked. People were playing Street Fighter V before the game even came out with that stupid cracked version where people were feeding that shit. 1-round matches with each other, they just wanted to play the game. Even Akuma was leaked. Well, that was, kind of Capcom's fault with the open beta server thing. But yeah, everyone was playing Akuma before he was even out. Even poor Ono has been told to keep his mouth shut. Trolling tweets. Capcom telling him to shove that Blanca toy up his ass. So we don't have that anymore either. Capcom's put a lid on everything. They want surprises to go as planned. They want you to be surprised. Speaking of which, it looks like Capcom has no intentions of revealing all the Season Pass characters at once, but instead do it at a 1 character at a time basis on a bi-monthly basis. Now this makes me really curious. Why doesn't Capcom want to reveal all the Season 2 characters at once? They already announced that they're going to be brand new characters to this series, but what's the strategy behind this by not telling us what the characters are? Is it because of hype saturation? And what I mean by this is, do they not want to show all their cards at once? Spread all the hype on a single day? Do they think that after they reveal all the characters, they'll have nothing else to say for the rest of the year, and then the hype will start to die down because there's no other information to spread? And they want to do it evenly. Every 2 months reveal a character, and then there's hype, and it's kind of like a roller coaster ride. Just because they reveal who these characters are doesn't mean there isn't information to spread, I feel. For example, we can learn about the characters' storylines as they come closer to launch, their move list, gameplay breakdowns, trailers, etc. In fact, with Season 1, all the characters were announced and leaked anyways, and that's what Capcom had to do. So, it is kind of a problem because the Season Pass is already out to purchase, and yet players don't know who these characters are. They don't know what they're buying. Is it to keep a steady flow of Street Fighter V talk? That may be another strategy. So what I mean by that is, since we don't know who these characters are, there's been a lot of forum discussion, video discussion. Even YouTubers like me make speculation videos on who the next characters, who they could be, who we would want them to be. And that conversation would be over if Capcom already told us all the next characters coming for Season 2. So there's that possibility as well. It keeps us glued to Street Fighter V, and it keeps people talking about the game, and it keeps the discussion going. Also, is Capcom afraid or that we will be disappointed if we know who the next characters are? So that's another possibility. So, for example, if they reveal who all these characters are, and then somebody doesn't like it, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to buy this Season Pass now. Is Capcom afraid of that? So then maybe they're hoping that someone will get impatient or impulsive and just buy the Season Pass and just hope that their favorite character is going to be one of the characters revealed. And then otherwise, if they did know, they wouldn't have bought it in the first place. That could be another strategy to it as well. I think sooner or later, though, maybe even in the next patch, these characters will be leaked at some point, one way or the other. But seriously, though, Ono was so paranoid to even give any hints for characters lately. Even with the Akuma, Ono wouldn't even admit Akuma was coming to the game, even after Capcom released a teaser trailer for it. It's ridiculous how much paranoia is going on right now. So let's fast forward to the present now. What does Capcom have coming down the pipeline for Street Fighter V this summer? What do we have to look forward to? So the first thing is the big CFN update, Capcom Fighters Network. So what does this mean? I don't know. Nobody knows. We're going to find out soon. It could mean they're improving the netcode. It could mean they're improving the interface, because the menus are really clunky. The loading times are bad. They could be improving the matchmaking, make it more regional, make the matchmaking, the process much faster, or it could be all the above, I hope. That'd be great. But that's the first big update that Capcom is planning on rolling out. Next up, we have the nostalgic costumes, still missing Alex and Ibuki, as well as the nostalgic stages that Capcom has showed off, but I'm sure those are coming eventually as well. E3 and San Diego Comic-Con, Ono said there'll be 1 or 2 big surprises at those events. So we're looking forward to that as well. And also we have the 30th anniversary from Capcom. So we know that the Season Pass, we know these are all brand new characters, but I have a feeling that there might be another character that Capcom will surprise us with for the 30th anniversary, most likely at E3. It could be a classic character, it could be like Sagat, for example, and the only way for Capcom to compromise on releasing said classic character is for them to just give the character for free. That's the only way they can do it. If they charge for this character, the people who bought the Season Pass already would be super angry. So that's just the only way to do it, and it could be like kind of a thank you for supporting Street Fighter V. Just releasing a classic character would be nice, or even a guest character would be great. So right now, I feel like, the health status of Street Fighter V, if it was like a Resident Evil game, I think the status right now is poisoned. New characters and fixing bugs and things will bring Street Fighter V back to life, back to max life, but then it'll slowly dwindle down again, and in a short time span. That's just the way it is. We get excited, but then it's like a roller coaster ride, and then we start to go down again. The CP2 tournaments are coming up though, so we have the big, Capcom Pro Tour starting again. So we have more entertainment for us to watch the game and see the pros play and keep our mind on things rather than just playing matchmaking ourselves and just complaining, basically. And it'll help Season 2 to start thriving. The new balance patch, if done right, it will also help character diversity, and it will also help please fans. Then once Capcom gets back on their feet and they fix a lot of the main issues with the game, then they can start adding things to the game, more features and modes, and then really help, cure its status, so to speak. Anything Capcom promises right now will not be fully convinced by anyone, that's for sure. Actions speak louder than words more than anything at this point when it comes to the PR. So I'm really hoping that things improve, and I do think that Street Fighter V still has a lot of potential. The foundation is there. Capcom has just a lot of catching up to do, and once they do finally do that, there's a lot of potential, especially with this game still being worked on. There's still, improving the game. They haven't given up on it yet. Capcom predicts that they will sell 2 million copies of this by the end of this fiscal year. Pretty ambitious considering the sales that Street Fighter V has done. This hopefully means that Capcom not only has new content but huge content plans ready to roll out this year that reflect that type of prediction. So let me know what you guys think of all this. Do you think Capcom can deliver on Season 2 this year? Does it have the potential? And of course guys, don't forget to like the video and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll keep you guys informed on more fighting game news in the future. So take care everyone.